both Democrats and Republicans have also thrown their support behind indefinitely detaining American citizens. One of the most radical assaults on our Constitution since the Patriot Act was signed into law more than a decade ago. But now is a sign that both parties have gone too far. Voices within each are standing up to say enough is enough. Democrats and Republicans in the House and Senate are now joining together to repeal the controversial indefinite detention provision that was signed into law last month by President Obama. One of those Republicans joins me now in the studio to talk about this effort. He's Congressman Jeff Landry, representing the 3rd District of Louisiana. Congressman, it's great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. What has happened to our body politic that something that would have so offended the founders has actually become part of our law?
Well, I think, look, I just got elected to this seat last year, and I got elected because I believe that we have some kind of way commingled the executive and the congressional branch. Instead of two separate branches, they kind of commingled themselves. Congress has abrogated a lot of powers over to the executive. Both Democrats and Republicans are responsible for it. They haven't been clear and precise in the laws so that the executive would have those types of clear, precise instructions so that the courts could determine exactly what Congress's intent was. And this is a plain example of that. I mean, in the NDAA provision, there's language that clearly allows the president to detain Americans indefinitely, something that our founders did not want the executive branch to have, but certainly gave that power to Congress if a situation arose. We could suspend a writ of habeas corpus, but Congress is not specific when it does so.
Well, and the last two times that happened were, I think, the War of 1812 and the Civil War.
That's correct. That's correct. No, you're right.
Like during time of invasion or insurrection.
Right.
That was it.
That's right.
And we have no insurrection, and we're not being invaded right now.
And it's a serious responsibility, and Congress should take that responsibility very carefully in how it conducts its business and drafts its legislation.
Mitt Romney defended this position in one of the Republican debates, and he was actually booed by the audience in South Carolina, a Republican audience. Do you think that that's an indication that the people get it and the politicians are a little behind in catching up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that the governor is wrong on this issue. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have protections in place. I mean, I think it was Thomas Jefferson who said it best when he said, those who will sacrifice liberty for security will one day wake up and find that they have neither liberty nor security. And this is a classic example. And what I love about this issue is that this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an American issue. This strikes at the very foundation of this country. Without liberty, our country basically doesn't exist in the form that it was founded upon.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Al Franken and you.
Right,
Two party Republicans.
Exactly.
So what can we do? And what is the possibility of anything happening in Congress here as we go forward?
Well, we've got about 47 co-sponsors right now, and everyone who's listening out there.
In the House.
In the House, both Democrats and Republicans. And so everyone who's listening out there should call their congressman and demand that they get on this bill. And I think the pressure will get to a point where, and we have a commitment from the chairman, and I've been working with the Armed Services Committee to make sure that we take this bill up and that we address this issue, whether we do it as a standalone bill or insert it into the new NDAA, which should be coming out in May, and once and for all be very clear that when it comes to American citizens here in this country, they may not be denied the due process under an Article III court.
Yeah, and what kind of blowback are you getting? I know, Lindsey Graham has been probably the most outspoken, saying, no, we need this, but is there...
No.
Are you getting much pushback?
No, I think, and of course, look, all your viewers out there certainly can continue to help us in that the push that we've gotten, when you see a congressman such as myself who's been hailed as a Tea Party guy, and someone like Senator Franken, on the other side of the aisle, when we're together, that really scares everyone else. And so I think that push is going to get us to what we need, which is to correct this language. And at the end of the day, this will give instructions to the court. If there is an incident, then courts will have a clear indication of what the congressional intent is under the National Defense Authorization Bill.
Yeah, it's a noble and great work you're doing, Congressman. And while we may have opposite political philosophies in some areas, I think you know, our love of country and belief in liberty is transpartisan. I'm totally with you on that.
What a great thing about it is we're both American citizens, and that's it.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congressman, thank you very much.
Thank you.